All right, hey everybody, welcome to another video. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm going to do something a little different today because to the best of my recollection, I don't think I've ever done an unboxing video. So I'm going to do one and let's see how it goes and you know, let me know what you think down in the comments. Keep it constructive, of course, but then again, this is YouTube, so who knows what we're going to get. But either way, I appreciate you watching this video nonetheless. So we've got a Canon EOS R here, and I'm super excited to check this out. This is the RF 24-105 f4 kit with the camera and the lens. So really good stuff. So without further ado, let's see what we got in the box. Let's see, then I guess I should do this facing me or facing you. I don't know. Like I said, this is my first, to the best of my knowledge, this is my first unboxing. So sorry if I make any egregious mistakes here. All right, let's see what we got in the box. R. All right, and typically with Canon, we have our warranty documentation, which I'll definitely do this online. Okay. We have manual documentation. I feel it's good to have those, you know, stick it in your camera bag if you need it during a shoot or something. It's good to have reference material. We have a cable of some variety. This looks like it is it's a USB-C cable. So it looks like this camera's got USB-C connectors on it. So we have a USB-C cable here. All right. Battery, LPE6N. And then we have the charger as well. Those of you, if you happen to have a 90D, I'm shooting this on a 90D, it takes the same batteries as a 90D. So that's handy. All right, then we have some plastic and a lens hood. Definitely need a lens hood. Okay, then the little lens bag. Being completely honest with you, I don't think I've ever used these lens bags because when I have lenses, I just keep them in my camera bag or I keep them someplace secure, you know, in between shoots and everything. I don't think I've ever used these bags. Do you guys use these? Comment below and tell me, because it's really important. The strap, of course. More plastic. And then, of course, we have what I'm assuming is the camera and the lens. So here is the camera. Ooh, look at that. All right, so here we have our EOS R body. Ooh. Looks pretty nice, I gotta say. And just the feel of it, I really love the ergonomics of it. And I've seen some mixed reviews on this little swipey thing, the little swipey control here. I'm kind of looking forward to playing with it and seeing how that goes. But just picking it up and holding it, it's got a nice feel to it. It doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel like it's plastic or anything like that. It just feels like it's really nicely made. And then we have our L glass. So for those unfamiliar, this is the 24-105 f4, which for Canon has been a kind of staple lens. It's been a really popular lens. I shot Canon for a while, then I went to Micro Four Thirds for a while. So this is kind of my return to Canon. And when I was shooting professionally, I shot with a 5D Mark III and this exact lens, the 24-105 f4. It's just a phenomenal workhorse lens. Now this one, of course, is actually in the new mirrorless mount, which is the RF mount, I believe. So we have the EF and EF-S mounts, which were the kind of main mounts for the crop sensor and and full sensor bodies, the pro bodies and everything. And now there's the RF mount, which is for their mirrorless. Not really sure why they called it R. You know, feel free to put a comment in the comments below if you know why did Canon go with the letter R. I'm sure I could Google it and find out, but I'll just ask you guys too. So let me know. But this is the 24-105 f4 L series RF mount. And for those unaware, Canon lenses that have a red ring around the outside denote their L line, which is their high-end professional grade lens category. So that's all for the box. And I'm just going to condense some of this here so it's not all over the place here. Okay, so let's take a look at the camera now. So I'm going to go ahead and mount the lens. What I like to do is I like to kind of put these together and keep it in my camera bag, so I have my lens cover and my body cover there just in case. All right, so there's the back of the lens there, and then the front, nice, huge, beautiful glass right there. And that is one thing I sort of saw in some of the reviews online. People were kind of remarking at how big the lenses are with regards to the camera, and I can sort of see where they're going with that. You know, if you look at the, let's see what's going to be a good view here. Okay, so here's the kind of, you know, top view. That is kind of big. You know, when you look at the front view and everything, you kind of look at the camera. The lens is pretty big compared to the, you know, the body and everything, but it's a solid feel to it. It's got a good feel to it, a pretty good balance. I mean, it does feel a little bit front heavy, but not so much that it's really annoying. You know, when you're shooting and you're holding it kind of as you typically would, it feels nice in the hand. It feels nice and balanced. Plus, we've got our tilty flippy screen, which I got to say, I am totally spoiled now. I kind of have to shoot with a camera that has one of those flip out screens because it's just so helpful, and it really does make a difference, especially when you want to get into a weird angle. You don't have to get on the floor or something. You can kind of tilt the screen up and, you know, shoot that way. So I really love that. I played with this in the camera store a little bit, and it feels familiar, yet it feels new. So, you know, the menus and everything are just like any Canon you've ever used, which is the familiar part, and that's nice. Some of the controls on the back, there's not as many controls as something like an 80D or 90D or 80D or any of those series. You know, we don't have that ring back here. You know, we've got the directional pad and you've got some buttons, but you now have this new element of another ring on the lens that you can use to adjust things with. So like you can make your aperture, for example. You have your focus ring and then you have your zoom ring. Well, it's got a lock on it, so I have to unlock that. There we go. So you've got your zoom control here, and then you have this additional third ring on the end. Now, some of you may be wondering, because I was wondering the same thing, well, what about all my other lenses? I've got this great 50 millimeter 1.8, the Plastic Fantastic. What in the world can I do with that? It's a different mount, so it's probably not going to fit, right? Right. However, you can get yourself an adapter. And according to my buddy, who is a sales guy that I work with all the time, he said that Canon really did a good job with the adapter. So let's check that out too. I'll go ahead and power the camera up here in a little bit. I'm charging the battery still because since I have a 90D, I also have a charger and spare battery and everything. So I'm just charging up a battery that I can throw into the camera later on. We can take a look at the actual function of the camera. But for now, we can take a look at the exterior stuff. So we opening up the top of the adapter box, got some, you know, literature just like usual, and then we've got our bubble wrapped adapter. So let's see what this thing looks like. Okay, it looks like it does come in some sort of a little case, which I think is nice. You know, I think a little more useful than the lens case. And again, I just happen to not be a user of the lens case, but maybe some of you folks are. You know, tell me in the comments if you think those lens cases that those lenses come with are useful or not. All right, so let's see what this thing looks like. Canon definitely loves their plastic, that's for sure. Okay, so looks like we've got our kind of familiar on the back here. Looks like our it's a mirrorless mount with that same kind of backing that the 24 to 105 lens had, and then this is the EF and EF-S front mount. And I'm not sure if you can see it in the video here. It does have the red and the white dot, so it'll take both EF and EF-S mount lenses. The other nice thing about this particular one, this is the one with the adjustment ring. So you can still map this to be your aperture or something else with those older EF and EF-S lenses, which I really like. So let's mount this 50mm on the EOS R and see how that looks. So same operation to take the lens off, just holding this button on the left and removing it. And I'm going to take the back cover off here. And I'm always a stickler to cover my lenses when they're not being used. I've seen some friends of mine, a friend of mine and his wife are professional wedding photographers, and I've seen they had brought their cameras over one night, and they were showing me some, because they shoot Nikon, so they were showing me some of their stuff, and they had lenses in there with no covers on them, and yeah, I definitely wouldn't do that, but that's just me. Okay, so now I'm going to mount the adapter to the camera, like so. Okay, definitely a solid fit, that's for sure. And now we can take this front piece off, and we'll mount the plastic fantastic. There we go. So now we've got the Canon 50mm f1.8 mounted to the EOS R. So I've got that extra, I'll give you a view from the top here. I've got this extra ring in the back, which I can map to the aperture, which is probably what I'm going to do, and then use this one for the shutter speed, which is kind of how I usually have it set up. If I have the ring in the back, I'll have that be the aperture, but because we have the ring here, we'll do the aperture there. And then we also have focusing ring up in the front, like normal, and so forth and so on. So this looks pretty cool. Also, I figured it would be beneficial to show you how to take the lens off of the adapter. There is, if we're looking directly at it here, on the right side, or the camera left side, if you're holding it this way, on the left side over here, there is a little button that you can use to release the lens that you have connected, and then it comes right off. And then you can remove the adapter with the lens release button on here. So there we go, nice and easy. All right, we've got ourselves a battery, so I zoomed in a little more, so hopefully you can get a better look at what I'm seeing here. So just like any Canon camera, the battery door is going to be on the bottom of the handle here. So we're going to pop that open, stick our LPE6N battery in there, close that nice and tight, and we've got a letter P showing on the built-in display. So that means we're in program mode to start out with. So I'm going to go ahead and fire this up. Left-hand side, we have the on-off switch. And it actually does not have a mode dial. It actually has this mode button here. And you know what, let me zoom in a little more, see if that will help. Okay. All right, so hopefully you guys can see that a little better. Do this upside down, is that going to work? Okay, so we're in program mode, and looks like we're in auto ISO to start out with. So we can change our modes by hitting this mode button right here and then cycling through. So there's FV, I'm not sure what that is. We have program, shutter priority, aperture priority, manual, I guess bulb. Then we have a couple of custom modes here. So we'll go into manual because that's the way to do it. And let's take a look at the, okay, we got no card in the camera. That's a big surprise. So let me take the lens cap off too. So it's just looking at my mat here, but looks like pretty typical Canon on-screen display. The menus look very familiar. They're pretty much exactly the same as the 80D, the 80 and 90D, plus it's all touchscreen, which I think is cool. Which the touchscreen is really, really nice, because I got a chance to play with that on the 90D and everything. So I'm going to set this up and do some shooting with it, and I'll post some pictures, test pictures that I do right here. So yeah, I gotta say, I really like this thing. It was really, really comfortable to shoot with. It felt very familiar. There were certainly some little quirks that were a little different than other cameras and other Canons that I had shot with, but it was certainly nothing that I couldn't get accustomed to or couldn't get used to after spending some time with it. So I think it's a terrific camera. I'm really looking forward to shooting more with it and seeing what kind of stuff I come up with. So thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it. And feel free to post some comments if you have any thoughts on the camera, if you own one or if you were thinking of getting one. Tell me about it. Put it in the comments and I'd love to hear about it. Until next time, I'll see you later.